In this bitch with a cover on, I know that's right. Alright, Waves plugin tier list. All this shit you see right here in this I don't know section, that mean I ain't never used that shit before. So don't ask me about none of these plugins, cause I ain't never used any of these shits before. All these right here, this is what we're gonna get into. So if you don't know how a tier list work, you got GOAT/S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D, and F. And then I don't know, we just talked about that. So obviously from GOAT down to F, it gets worse. So overall, this isn't gonna be based on how good the plugins are, because all of these plugins right here I do use or have used, and I think all of them are really fucking good. So rather than how good they are, this is gonna be basically how often I reach for these plugins. So like basically from GOAT to F, it's basically like, should you buy or not? So basically like all the way up here is gonna be like the one I reach for, or the ones I reach for the most, to ones I don't ever fucking reach for. So the C6 multi-band compressor, I'm not even gonna lie, this shit goes, I'm gonna put this in S. Let me switch this to S right now. We're gonna put that in S tier. Now, the thing about it is, I use this on every single main vocal preset I do. There's never a main vocal preset that doesn't have this shit on, if it's a Waves plugin preset. Therefore, that's just going to S, because the main vocals is what holds all this shit together. So boom. Then we got the CLA2A compressor. Now I'm not gonna lie, I picked this up after the fucking, where is it at? After the R comp and like the R Vox. Cause me, what I do is, right, if I'm mixing with Waves plugins, I don't just use one compressor. So what I'll do is, like, before I got the CLA2A and CLA76 combo, I was rocking with the R comp and R Vox together. Not to say that those are bad. I still fuck with it to this day. I'll still do it to this day. But I picked it up recently, and I'm not gonna lie, something about it, I don't know if it's about like the popularity of that combination that makes me want to reach for that more. But I feel like lately I've been really reaching for that combo a lot. So the CLA2A, I'm not gonna put it in S, because I could switch that out for the R comp and the R Vox. So I'm gonna slide the CLA2A and the CLA76 and A right under S. I'm not gonna lie, because like, it's not like it's untouchable. Like the C6, like the multi-band compressor, that shit's untouchable. You can't switch that shit out. That's the only one I use. But the CLA2A and CLA76, you could definitely switch them bitches out for the R comp and the R Vox. So this, what's this shit called again? The fucking CLA vocals or some shit like that, effects or whatever the hell. This is cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not D or F. This shit's cool. Like, it sits in this little pocket of like B and C. And I'm not even gonna lie, I don't want to put it in C. But this is for what? This is based on what I reach for. I never reach for this like that. Like, it's a cool plugin to have. It's like, it's alright. You definitely don't need it though. So I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna put that motherfucker in D, to be honest. Now, again, this doesn't mean the plugin is bad necessarily. That just means that I never reach for the shit. So like, it is what it is. Like, some of them I'm just not gonna reach for, some of them I do. This one just happens to be one that I don't necessarily ever need to reach for. So what is this? The de-esser? So there's two de-essers, I think. They got this de-esser, and then they got this one right here. Personally, I use this de-esser right here rather than this one. That's not to say that this one is bad. This one just got like a classic look to it. Like, I like being able to see what I'm fucking with. I like to see the frequencies and shit. So, not gonna lie, because I could switch that out with the other one, I'm gonna put this in C. Solely because, like, it's not bad. You can reach for this, but because me personally, I'm reaching for this one 9 times out of 10 compared to the other one. I'm not gonna put it in D because it's not like I would never use it, but I'll keep it in C. That's a cool little place for it. This F6 EQ. I'm not even gonna lie. This shit goes on like every fucking mix I have. Cause honestly, like, I like, you know, the whole like visibly being able to see the frequencies you fucking with type of EQ situation. So compared to the other shit like the SSL boards and shit like that, I'm not even gonna lie. This shit is like a necessity. Like, I reach for this really just as much as the multi-band compressor, the C6 specifically. So the F6 EQ and the C6 multi-band compressor are gonna stay in the S tier by themselves for now. Not even gonna lie, like I said, this shit, it got it. This one most definitely gonna be up here because I don't think there's an EQ better than the F6 in here that they have. Honestly. That's just me personally though. That's just what I think because, like I said, I like my EQs to be visual. So like, that's not to say I don't like my big SSL boards and shit, but you know, it's just preference. So like, if you are the type of person where you feel like you want to just listen to your shit and you don't want to base it off of what you see and like rules and shit like that, then go ahead, you know, fuck with the SSL boards. But me, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that F6 in the S tier personally. And I know a lot of people will probably say the same exact thing, so I'm gonna keep it up there. Next we got the H delay. I'm not even gonna lie, I rock with the Manny delay. The Manny delay to me just has way more than the H delay. The H delay is just like, you know, the classic delay that Waves has to offer. So basically, like, you know, it's like if you know about the Manny delay, then you know. But if you don't, and you a mainstream industry standard ass nigga, you fuck with the H delay. That's not to say the H delay is bad. I just know that overall the Manny delay is better. That's my main delay. I use that shit every time basically. And because of that, I barely ever reach for the H delay. But because the H delay is such a good plugin, and I would never knock anybody for using the shit, I'm gonna throw it in A. Like, it doesn't go in S because I'm reaching for the Manny delay over that shit any day. That's just me. Some people might, you know, have that like feeling with this H delay so they can't get off this shit or whatever. But it's to me, it's alright. It gives you what you need, is what I will say. But the Manny delay gives you what you need and more. You know, it's more of a full plugin. With that being said, we're gonna take the Manny delay and put that bitch in the S tier. Because that shit is like that, bro. You get all kinds of effects and shit. And it's like a bunch of shit that you would have on your delay send to make your delay sound better just comes in the plugin by itself. So we definitely gonna keep that in the S tier. Next we got the Manny reverb. Now, my main reverb today, as of now, is the Valhalla reverb, Valhalla Vintage Verb. Now, if that was in here, I'd put that motherfucker in the S tier because that shit is my favorite reverb right now. And it does everything I needed to do and more. I like it a lot. But as far as the Manny reverb goes, I'm not gonna lie, this is what I was using before I switched over to the Valhalla verb. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, Valhalla verb ain't in here. And there is, I think, one more reverb in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this motherfucker in the S, right? So these, personally, the mani reverb and the mani delay is the two reverb and delay, or is the reverb and delay you should be reaching for, basically. So I'm gonna keep them up there as far as like the Waves plugins, just so y'all have a clear, like, you know, indication of what y'all should be reaching for. Now, next we got the metal flanger. I'm not gonna lie, I reached for this a good amount, but is this like as necessary as something like doubler and shit like that? I would say no, but you know, I reach for it a decent amount. It's just like, you know, if you want to use it, it's there. It puts some like body and presence, not like high-end presence, but like I would say it puts like some character in your shit, depending on like the type of artist you are. But then again, I feel like any artist could use this to their advantage. So based on that description, I'm not gonna lie, that shit sound like a B tier to me. Like, it's not bad, it's not fucking amazing, it's not like the same as the H delay and compressors and shit like that. So I'm gonna keep it in A. Now, speaking of the doubler, I'm looking and I don't see the fucking doubler anywhere unless I put it up here in the I don't know. I don't see it. If I'm just fucking blind, let me know. But if I did see the doubler on here, doubler would be going right up here in the S tier, right with everything else. That doubler plugin does a lot. You could get like a low pitched double behind your voice with that shit and all kinds of shit. So that doubler plugin, doubler 2 or doubler 4, I don't care which one you use, both of them bitches is hard. And that motherfucker definitely goes in the S tier. So just imagine that the doubler 2 or doubler 4 is right here. Now, moving on to the MV2. The MV2 I like a lot because this is some shit I feel like you can use on more than just vocals, as like, you know, basically all these plugins are. But I feel like when it comes to using this compressor for more than just vocals, I reach for this shit every time. Like if there's like some low sounding shit in the beat, like if there's like a certain sound I want to pull out in the beat, I will reach for this. This is the first thing that comes to mind. That's the whole like purpose behind this plugin, you know, pulling up the quieter shit. So I'm not even gonna lie, it wasn't one of the first ones I got when I was shopping on the Waves website, but it's definitely not a fucking B tier, I'm not gonna lie, because this shit works. But you know what, I don't use it as much as the CLA 2A and the CLA 76, so I'm gonna put it in B tier above the meta flanger, cause it's definitely like that. Like I definitely recommend motherfuckers to get this shit for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep it there. That's a cool spot for it. The NS1, I'm not even gonna lie, I just got the NS1. Like I mix in FL Studio. If you've been watching me, you know that shit already. But this NS1, it's literally just like the noise gate shit. And there's so many plugins you can use for this, but what I like about this is that it simplifies it to just one knob, and I like that a lot. But at the same time, that takes away some of the control you have over the shit. Overall, in the future, like when it comes to just having on a fucking noise gate, like yeah, I'm gonna reach for this because it's just the noise gate. So, not even gonna lie, because I know what's coming in the future with a certain plugin, I'm gonna tell you. So like the RVox has a gate setting. So basically you really don't even need this if you buy the RVox, which a lot of like early vocal mixers would buy. So I'm not even gonna lie, I'm gonna put this in the A because it's not a B tier. It's not like I'm gonna never reach for the shit. But if you don't have the RVox, then you would most likely want to run this. So I'll just keep it in the A. Now, what's next? The R comp. The R compressor, not even gonna lie, I like it a lot. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's just the look of the shit and like the feel it has. Like, this was the first compressor I bought off of Waves. Like when I was talking about like the CLA 76 and the CLA 2A. Like, them plugins is cool. Love them to death, right? But I know the OG compressor that I was fucking with at first is the R-Comp. I'm gonna put this motherfucker in the S tier because you can really buy this one plugin and the same shit you do with the CLA 76 and the CLA 2A, you could do that same shit with just the R-Comp. So like, double up the R-Comp, right? On the first one, you set like I think it's like the opto and electro setting or some shit like that. One of them makes it work like a FET compressor, like the CLA 76, and the other one makes it work like the CLA 2A. So really, you just double up on that one plugin and make it do exactly what these two compressors do. So for that reason right there, I'm a definitely put it in the S tier. You know, like if you're like, you a little short on cash or whatever, and you don't want to go buying multiple fucking compressors to do the same shit, just buy the R-Comp, honestly. You could get all of what that shit is trying to do done with that one plugin. So with that being said, we definitely gonna keep that shit in the S tier. So next we got RDSer or RDSer. This is the one I use personally. Like earlier when I was talking about, you know, the C tier de-esser or whatever, it was because this one is here. I use this one every time. This is really the only de-esser I ever fucking use, and really you won't need like any other de-esser other than this. So that shit's going in the S tier. I reach for this every fucking time. Every time I'm mixing anything, anytime I want a de-esser, no other de-esser comes to mind other than this one. So I pull this bitch up every time. Kind of just like I do with like the C6 multi-band compressor. Same shit. You know, this shit is not one of those, oh, I'll just switch it out for this, that, or the third. Like, I run this for damn near everything. So then we got, what is this, the R reverb or some shit like that. This is cool, but then again, this kind of reminds me of the H delay. It's kind of basic, I feel like. Like, it does what you need it to do, but it doesn't really give you much more than what you just needed to do. So because that's the case, and I use the mini verb over that damn near any day, not even gonna lie, this shit gonna go right in the C tier with the other de-esser. That's just that. Like, it's just plain, bro. Like, the H delay is plain as hell too, but the only reason it's up here is because it's such like a industry standard, like classic, like gotta have it if you don't have mani delay, you know? So yeah, then we got the R-Vox. Not even gonna lie, if you're starting off mixing, you don't really know what you're doing, any of that shit. Even if you do know what you're doing, the R-Vox is definitely an amazing top tier choice, period, for a compressor. Like, you could even run this bitch by itself. If you really wanted to, you could just slap this motherfucker on and call it a fucking day. This plugin is really fucking good, I'm not even gonna lie. This is, I bought this right with the R-Comp, and that was my double compression like method at the time until I switched over to the CLA 76 CLA 2A combo. So yeah, it's definitely S tier, and this is what I was talking about. This is why this plugin is the whole reason why the NS1 is in the A tier, because the R-Vox has a gate setting. Like, it literally has the NS1 integrated into it. So you just starting off, you just want to buy what you need. I definitely would say for like compressor options, because you can do so much with them, go with the R-Comp and the R-Vox together. Because the R-Vox comes with the noise gate. On top of that, the R-Comp basically does what the fucking CLA 76 and CLA 2A does by itself. You just gotta double it up. So because of that, you could really slap on the R-Vox first as a noise gate and like kinda to level out your shit a little bit, and then go with the R-Comp after, and then get all your like compression shit done. So these two right here definitely gonna stay in the S tier. It's not even a question. Like, so far everything in the S tier, not even a fucking question. All of these are for sure top tier Waves plugins that I definitely would recommend for mixing vocals, for sure. So then we got the S1 Imager. This is really some shit that I use on every mix and master, whatever the hell, right? Like, ain't nothing wrong with it at all whatsoever. It's really like the only like stereo with plugin I ever fucking use, to be honest. Like, I don't ever feel like be seeing the need to use another one other than what I use it for. So like basically when I'm reaching for this, right, I'm either using it as a send, like, or on my reverb sends to widen it up some more than what it already is. Sometimes for my delays, sometimes for my doubles, you know, and then obviously like on the master, like to open it up a little bit, you know, do what I want to do with it. So being that I reach for this fucking every time and there is no other one that I would recommend people to use, like if somebody asks me, oh, what stereo with plugin should I get? I'm definitely gonna say that S1 Imager. So we're gonna leave that bitch in the S tier. Now, don't look at this and think, oh, it's a lot of S tiers. No, this is just how it is. Wave shit is good, like, and I'm not sponsored by them at all whatsoever, but if they want to, I'll gladly take that shit. Cause I be using they shit religiously, I'm not gonna lie. Like, which is why there's a lot of S tiers here. So that's just how it is. Like, on the real, they just got a lot of really good shit. So this is, I forgot exactly what I think it's the Sheps, or like, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong, but like, I think it's the Sheps 73 or some shit like that. This is like Wave's version of like the Neve, I think 1073 or some shit like that. Now, you can use this like before everything in your mix is like a preamp for your voice, vocals, whatever the hell you're using it for. Personally, I don't really reach for this. I don't feel like I need it. Like, I just never use it. If anything, like the closest thing to this that I used in the past was like the Mic Mod plugin from Antares, like the auto-tune shit or whatever. Even then, I wouldn't push it too hard. The only thing about this is that it comes with like some little EQ shit and like shit like that, but I don't run my EQ through here, none of that shit. I would only use it for like the preamp, like to level my shit out, but I do that through my interface and shit like that, and you know, do like post-processing shit. So like, I wouldn't really say this is a necessity, and I really never use this, so I think this might go in the F. Honestly, like I never use this shit ever. Like the CLA vocal shit is in D tier because, like, you know, it's not like I would never use it. Like, this shit gets the job done quick. So like I would say this is a good plugin. This is a good plugin too, don't get me wrong, but I never use it, like, ever. I never think about it, ever. This shit I would think about before I think about the fucking shit 73. So then we got the fucking SSL boards, right? I'm not gonna lie, I can't even tell which one is which from over here. This is the fucking, I'm assuming this is the E channel. I can't tell which one is which, for real. But basically, SSL board compression and EQ is great. I feel like if you mix vocals, you know that by now. Like, these are like the classic, you know. I know this one is the SSL EV2. So matter of fact, this is what I'm gonna do. This bitch goes in the S tier right now. Matter of fact, no. Hey, I'm gonna put this in the A tier. Matter of fact, I can't tell which one is which. If this is the G channel or E channel, I think this is the E channel. So assuming this is the SSL E channel, I'm gonna put it in A tier. Assuming this is the SSL G channel, I'm gonna put this bitch in the F tier. I can't really fucking see it, but I'm gonna assume this is the SSL E channel and this is the SSL G channel. G channel, I just never heard good things about like that as far as mixing vocals and shit like that. E channel, I be using all the time to mix vocals. So that motherfucker can go right with the EV2 channel because they're really the same shit. The EV2 channel just gives you like more shit to work with overall. So like basically, right, it's the same shit, and I recently picked up the EV2 channel and it's literally the same shit as the E channel except with more shit. So it's gonna go right above it. So them two can both go in the A. The only reason it's not in the S tier is because like I said, I like my visual EQ. Like I like being able to pull up knobs and like see what I'm changing and like, you know, do like the fucking subtractive EQ technique where you like drag the fucking frequency across the shit, see what you don't like, you know? I like that type of EQ. So because I reached for that first, I'm definitely gonna put the SSL boards in the A tier. Now that's not to say I wouldn't use it before that, because I use these in the same mix. Like I'll go in with the SSL E channel or the EV2 channel, and then after that go in with this EQ, the F6. So I mean, yeah, honestly, great plugins. Both of them are very fucking good. Ain't shit wrong with them. I would say first though, if you just wanted one EQ to buy, definitely go with the F6 first. But that's just me. These are great plugins though. You could like completely EQ your vocals with these motherfuckers if you really wanted to. On top of that, they come with compressors. I just don't like I bypass the compressors every time. Like I compress with just, as of right now, I've been using a lot of the CLA 76 and CLA 2A combo for compression. So like I'll bypass the motherfuckers on the SSL boards, but they're still good plugins regardless. I'm gonna keep this auto-tune shit for last, cause I got some shit to say about this. Cause I just switched over from Antares auto-tune to the Waves Tune real time. So I'm gonna say this for last. I got some shit to say about that. But this like pitch shifter plugin or some shit like that, I'm not gonna lie, you could do some crazy shit with this. Don't get me wrong, but I don't use it. Now, it depends on what you use. I'm not too sure about like Pro Tools, Logic, and all that other shit. I use FL Studio. And in FL Studio, you could just drag a double, make it unique, and change the pitch of that shit. I don't, personally, if I want a pitch down vocal, I'm running the doubler plugin and putting on the octave down shit and turning that bitch up. So because I do my like down pitch shit that way, it's like I don't never have a need for this because I'm using FL Studio. But if I wasn't, this would go higher for sure. But because you can pitch your shit up and down in FL Studio, because that they allow that shit easily, like within within the shit itself, like it's not even a plugin in FL Studio. You can just click the track and change that shit right there. So, not even gonna lie, I never use it. I don't want to put it in the F tier because this is some real cool shit you can do a lot of cool shit with. So I'm gonna put it in the D tier. It can go right next to the CLA vocal shit or whatever. Not gonna lie. So far, I'm looking. I like this. This looks pretty cool for now. But last plugin, right? Waves Tune Real Time. Not even gonna lie, I was really scared to make the switch from Antares Auto-Tune to this shit because Antares Auto-Tune is like the classic go-to auto-tune, you know? That shit can get really expensive though. You can pay like, I think like over $100 for a one-time purchase for like just one of the auto-tunes, or do the yearly subscription for like $100 something for like all the auto-tune plugins or whatever, which is cool. If you can afford that, do it. I definitely liked it. I fucked with it. I had it for last year. If you've been watching all my old videos, you know all my old presets was using Antares Auto-Tune. But from now on, I will be running Waves Tune Real Time. Now, this plugin is amazing. I've been mixing a lot of shit with it recently and it sounds great. I really fuck with it. It took me a little while to get used to and like, you know what to reach for in the plugin. But it didn't take that long. And the shit's great. I love it. It sounds good. I fuck with it. And to make it even better, the shit's like $30 or like $40 or some shit like that compared to like $170 or some shit that Antares is charging for their auto-tune. So if the shit sounds just as good, I'm just like, shit, fuck it, may as well use it. Now, that being said, I reach for this motherfucker every time now. It's a S tier plugin for sure. And I'm pretty sure this is their most purchased plugin on their website. and it's for a reason. Like, it's a good plugin, bro. I can't knock the shit. Like, I don't really know nothing bad about it. Like, I've only had it for a little while, but it's not bad at all. I love it. So overall, I think this shit looks good, you know. And that being said, like I said, you know, this shit is my new auto tune. So for all my future presets, if you want, even the stock plugin presets, like this little auto tune ain't shit. If you don't have this auto tune, because you have to go in and switch the auto tune for whatever song you're doing, period. Just if you don't have it, run Pitcher. It's the free one in FL Studio. Just use that. But instead of having y'all go get in Torres auto tune and shit from now on, I'ma just run Waves Tune real time. It's really good. I fuck with it, and it's visually appealing too. It's something about it that like at first I didn't like compared to in Torres, but I fuck with it. It's pretty cool. But overall, using all these plugins is not that hard. Like at first looking at it, you'll feel like what the fuck, but all of these plugins I use basically religiously, except for the shit from like B tier down. From B tier down, or no, from C tier down, all this shit I don't really be fucking with like that. But all of these I use in damn near every fucking mix. So that's not to say you go out and buy the fucking SSL EV2 and the SSL E channel at the same fucking time. That just don't make no damn sense. You gotta be smart. So like, you just starting out and shit, basically what you wanna do is get you like one plugin for each purpose. So like, you know, get you the auto tune, get you the F6 for the EQ. For the compression, I would say just go with the R comp. For the de-essing, definitely go R de-esser right here. Reverb and delay, go with the mini delay and the mini reverb. And I guess starting out, you don't really need like much more. Other than like, because I didn't say RVox, maybe the NS1. And yeah, cause you think like imagine also like you can double up on these plugins like I've been saying about the R comp and shit like that. So like you don't need to run just because I said I'll run the SSL board and the F6 at the same time. That doesn't mean you have to do that. You can just run multiple F6s. Like at a point that was one of my like Waves presets that I did. But as of right now, at the time of recording this, I don't have many like Waves presets, like Waves Vocal Presets on the website. I think the only one I got is mine right now. But mine is about to update, and there will be a lot more Waves plugin presets coming soon. So with that being said, definitely go on there, copy some Waves plugins so you can stay in tune with what I got coming out, because the Waves plugins, I got some crazy shit to them that the stock FL Studio plugins don't have. So that being said, go ahead, copy these plugins and shit. I guess I'll see y'all next week with another vocal preset. I'm not gonna tell y'all who yet, but it is a Waves preset, so you definitely want to go on there and copy some of these plugins just in case you don't have them already. That being said, see y'all later. Peace.